Well, I guess since I finished the first 3 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, it's time to film a video. Let's go. Woo! Man, it's been a while, hasn't it? If you're wondering, I had a great birthday at the end of January. I finally feel like I'm on top of things as a music major for once in my life. And as you heard, I also finished the first 3 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I started over Christmas break, so that's exciting, right? Also, down the line, it's a lot harder to film when I'm not there, because I'm not there. So it's hard to work out. Anyways, more technical difficulties, but that aside, we'll hopefully get those figured out. All of that aside, though, we all know what today is. It's Valentine's Day, and oh my gosh, my room's a mess. It is a time to love, or just wait until the day after and buy half-priced candy and chocolates like I will be doing. But sticking with this whole idea of love, if you're watching this video or you've been around on my channel following me for a long time, you know that I absolutely adore drum corps as an activity. But why is that? What's so special about it? Why did I pay thousands of dollars 3 summers in a row to nearly kill myself while carrying around a mellophone? Well, for those curious people out there, here are 14 reasons I love drum corps. Because it's the 14th, Valentine's Day. So, 14. Number 1, you feel like a celebrity. It's true. After you get on the road with a drum corps and you perform for all of those adoring fans, you have high school kids that are looking up to you, they want to come talk to you, but they're too scared. Sometimes you start a vlog series while you're on tour and you feel even more like a celebrity, which is pretty cool. Plus, you're like a professional. It is marching music's major league, and no one else in the world is as elite, and no one else in the world can do what you do. Number 2, family. If you've watched Rocky Point Vlog at all, 2014 or 2015, you must realize by now that probably the biggest aspect of drum corps that I love is the family aspect. They say that those that suffer together bond, and boy is that true. When you're out there sweating and you feel like you could just give up at any moment, they're there, they have your back, and they probably feel the same way too. So when you keep pushing with them, it's amazing just how close you become. They see you at your best, they see you at your worst, they see you when you're crazy because you've been kept on a bus for 2 months straight. And even now, as I've aged out, I still keep in contact with all of my close friends and family members, and even if I didn't have that many conversations with some of the members in the cadets when I was in there, we still are Facebook friends, and they know they can talk to me anytime they need or want anything. FHNSAB. Number 3, the body. It's true, you've seen the pictures, body by drum corps. You look tan, you get muscular, and you can eat as much as you want while you're out there and still look fantastic. And that's what I love. It showed me that I can get in shape, and it's not easy, but it's totally worth it. I'm still working out, I feel great, I look great, and sure, working out is a pain, but it helps me de-stress, and it keeps me ready to run those 5Ks with more of my friends. It'll keep me around a lot longer than just sitting on a couch and eating potato chips. Number 4, networking. No, I'm not talking about the internet, but I guess that could play a part in this. It's meeting people that you've always looked up to in the activity. It's making connections to people that will go on to be super successful or already successful. For instance, this past year when I went to NCMEA, I met up with some of the guys from Dumoulin, and they said they'd seen my vlog, and we just talked for a while about cadets. Being in a drum corps not only opens that family aspect to all the people you were in the corps with, but everyone previous. They feel like they have something in common with you, allows you to meet new people, meet people that are higher up or will become higher up, and essentially secure your job future if you're looking into music or anything really, because not everyone in drum corps is going to go into a music education or music field. Number 5, it's time to grow up. It's true. When I got shipped off to my first year of drum corps with the cadets, I was fresh out of high school. I hadn't even graduated. I had to fly back from spring training to graduate. I didn't want to leave home. I wasn't daring. I didn't want to do things that scared me every day to try to make me a better person and learn more about myself. And after I suffered through the beginning part of my first year, I think it truly built me into more of an adult. And when I came back, I was ready to start teaching, and I got more out of the world and seeing it from a different perspective after having that awesome experience of growing up and being responsible for me and the entire drum corps. Because, you know, you're only as good as your weakest link. Number 6, cut off from the real world. Now I know everyone back in the day that marched before cell phones were a thing, or even smartphones for that matter, their experience was probably a little more cut off than mine ever was. However, you're still away from the real world. You are cut off from being a part of normal society. Your only focus is drum corps. No homework, no school. It's just drum corps all the time. March and play, march and play. Be in this community. It's a fantastic feeling to just leave all of your real world troubles behind and go do this one thing. For some people, it's difficult, especially if they're leaving girlfriends, boyfriends, family. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You will never ever again in your life get the opportunity to leave your real-world life behind and forget it for 3 months and just be in this one community of people that are all focused on one thing. It's like nothing you'll ever experience in the world, because in real life that doesn't happen. No one is as focused or as committed or all doing the same thing. It's incredible when you think about it. Number 7, traveling. Traveling is by far one of the coolest parts of going on a drum corps tour or being with a drum corps. You'll fall asleep one night in Texas and the next morning you'll wake up in Louisiana or Georgia or who knows, a different part of Texas because it's rather big. You don't see much of the world except for football fields, but when you get a free day, when you get to look out the window of the bus, when you get to see things you thought you'd never see, like the Alamo or Lucas Oil Stadium, it's just fantastic to be able to say I've traveled to so many different states in 3 months doing what I love. Number 8, the food. Now, I can't speak for all drum corps, but I can speak for the cadets and that one day we spent with the Blue Coats. At the cadets, we got fed 4 meals a day. We always had food. It was always great, delicious, and if you didn't like what they were having, there was always a peanut butter and jelly table. And they always had the name brand stuff. Skippy, Jif, you name it. It was all there. You have to eat and eat and eat. For me, it was a little emotional, at least for my first year, because it was like, the only time I get to breathe is when I'm eating food, and we take that hour or 30 minutes off. But it was a time to relax, a time to enjoy great food, enjoy the company, and not think about marching and playing all the time. Number 9, the focus on you. It's true. Those late nights when you're on a bus heading to another state, or perhaps at night when you're laying in your bed during spring training. You're thinking about you. You're thinking about your life. You're out there discovering who you are because no one else from your real world is likely there with you. I had a hard breakup right before the 2014 season, and as a result, I discovered who I was during the 2014 season with the help of Rocky Point Vlog, my awesome seat partner Andrew Tomaska, and just the whole drum corps. I found me again and didn't rely on anyone else, and it's one of the greatest feelings ever to know you have a complete foundation in who you are as a person and that no one else is going to influence or shake that. Number 10, feeling like Superman or woman. Man, every time I put my uniform on, I felt like I could do anything. I felt so strong, so united with everybody around me. I literally felt like I could do anything. And it's one of the greatest feelings in the world, I think. And I've never felt it doing anything else. Never felt as confident or as calm or as ready or as professional as when I had on my maroon and gold and white. Or black, I guess, if you think about it. Number 11, working towards the same goal. As I mentioned previously about being cut off from the real world, when you're with a drum corps, you are 100% with people that want to be there. They aren't those people in your high school marching band that were only there to do extracurricular activities or whatever. They are 100% there for the same goals, for the same reasons you are. To get better, to play better, and just present the greatest show that summer that you and everyone around you can possibly create. And it's one of the most unique things that you'll never find anywhere else in life. No one works that hard, no one has the same goals or the same mentality. Everyone's usually in life for a different reason, but everyone's in drum corps usually for the same reason. If not, they're very close or very related. You're all working towards putting the best show out there. And I found nothing else in the world like it. Number 12, becoming an expert on your source material. Ask me about the 3 summers I marched. Side by Side, Promise: An American Portrait, and The Power of 10. Samuel Barber, Aaron Copland, Shostakovich. I learned so much about all 3 as composers. I learned so much about the music that we were playing, further than any history class I've ever taken has gone into. And that speaks a lot considering how much I paid for college. But you're playing the same music for 3 months. You learn the intricacies of each piece that you're performing. Maybe some of it was arranged differently. Obviously, we're not an orchestra. But, I mean, hearing how things go back and forth, or how this was based on that, listening to source material before the season starts, you really become an expert on the pieces of music that you hear over and over and over and over again for 3 months, or more, depending on the preseason. Number 13, there is never good enough. I find this really hard as a music major now, not doing drum corps, that when I go watch groups perform, or when I'm performing, or someone around me says, "Good job, that was great," I'll be like, "No, I did this wrong, this. Because of drum corps, I've always been a perfectionist, but drum corps made it even harder, never to accept less than perfection, which perfection in itself is impossible. So this is like one of those never-ending things that you wake up every day trying to chase, but inevitably you can never get it. But working towards it, trying to be as perfect as possible, is something that I've only found in drum corps, and it's super hard to get everyone else on the same mentality as you. As you leave drum corps and you go back into the real world, you will find that your expectations for yourself and everyone else are higher because of drum corps. So it's really frustrating when you find some people settling for okay or good enough. And sometimes I find myself doing that when I feel lazy, but I need to remember what I did for 3 summers in a row and pushing myself to be perfect or as close as possible. And it's really hard to find that in the real world. Number 14, you're a part of something bigger than just you. I remember saying that right at the beginning of my high school marching career. My band director was asking me, "What's your favorite thing about marching band?" And it was that I'm getting to be a part of something bigger than just me. And I think that really has been a motto for me as I've continued throughout my marching career, from high school into drum corps, and now as I'm retired. That being a part of something bigger than just you is an incredible feeling. There's no way in the world I would say, "Now, from Bassett, Virginia, please welcome Rocky Ankeny presenting his 2015 show himself." That doesn't happen. You can't do drum corps by yourself, which is weird. That you as an individual are so responsible that every move you make is held accountable and could mess up the entire thing, but by yourself you couldn't do it. You have to rely on everybody. It's a weird thing, and it's really cool knowing that I'm a part of the Cadets, the Bluecoats, Carolina Crown, the Blue Devils, whatever drum corps you're part of. It's so much bigger. They've been around for so long. Maybe some have just been created. But it's an incredible feeling to know that you're a part of a legacy and a part of something that's bigger than you could ever be on your own individually. And that's just 14 of the many reasons I love drum corps. Before I wrap this episode up, I wanted to let you guys know that this week/weekend is Carolina Band Festival at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, where I attend. And the Wind Ensemble is performing for all the band directors and students in honor bands and in attendance and everybody that comes on Friday, February the 19th at 7:30 p.m. And the best part is it's being live streamed on the internet. We're doing a lot of Granger, including Lincolnshire Posy, which we played the second movement of, an arrangement of, this past season on tour with the French horns, which was really awesome. So getting to do that again in the wind ensemble is pretty cool. So I'll put a link down to that in the description. And if you want to tune in and listen to some Granger and also Celebration by Philip Spark, that's a big heavy hitter that's on the concert, feel free to just tune in, take a listen. And I think that pretty much wraps this episode up. Social media links, public ones, in the description as always. And until next time, hopefully sooner rather than later, we will catch you guys later.